Hello, welcome to my channel. It's been a long time since I made videos, so I'm back and today I want to share my space for scrapbooking and other craft. I've been in this space for several years. It's part of the family room in my home, but last December I did some remodeling. I changed some of the cabinets, some of the furniture to make myself more comfortable because I had a lot of things out of place in containers arranged under the table or in a corner of the family room. And I wasn't happy with that because I don't like having things out of place. So in December, I told myself, no, this needs to change. I need to take advantage of the wall space here and arrange myself in a way that makes me feel comfortable, happy, and make for me easier to find the things I want to use. Also, to make it easier to clean. Now you can see I have a lot of doors and clothes on containers just for that, because now I don't have to clean it so much. There are areas and things I kept as they were and others that I changed. In this video, I'm going to explain the changes I made, why I bought the things I bought, where you can get them, and so on in case you're interested in getting any of them for your space. Also check the description box for the details. This brown area, these cabinets are from Costco. I bought them a few years ago. They came with canvas basket, and I changed those basket on December and put these other gray containers. They are like basket, but they are closed. And at the bottom, you can see open basket, but they are tall, which kept the dust out. On top of these cabinets, I have the cutting machines. Here is the spellbinder, my Cuttlebug, and this C6 big shot. This container is for the remote controls, and on the back there I have some brushes that I don't use frequently. On the side I have the electronic cutting machines, the Silhouette Cameo and the Cricut. I kept both of them with covers that I can clean or wash. These are the basket that I bought on Amazon to organize the embellishment. Here you can only find embellishment that I kept by collection. Now it's easier for me when I'm looking for a paper collection that I want to work with or a particular theme. I just come here, get all the embellishment because they are all together. Later on, I'll show you what the basket looks like on the inside and how I have the embellishment organized. I label them so it's easier to find and see what's inside without having to take things out, and I organize them by theme or by manufacturer. I added these drawers and lids to the cabinet. They are from Ikea because even though I bought this piece of furniture at Costco, it has the same dimension as the Calax, so the doors and drawers from the IKEA Calax fit them. This cabinet got a little wet during Hurricane Maria and has some cosmetic damage. The piece is still functional. I decided to keep it a little bit of the formica peeled off, but these are minor details that aren't noticeable unless you look closely. This basket at the bottom contains all sorts of alphabets and letters. Here I kept my collection of all that is letters or alphabet and don't belong to a particular collection. They are generic, so I acquire many of them through the design teams. That's why I have so many. And I kept them all here, small, large, stickers, puffy, doesn't matter the material, if it's a letter or an alphabet, it's in this basket. They're very colorful and it's always practical to have letters and alphabet because even though the collections now came with phrases and titles that you can buy, sometimes you can get the message that you want to express in a project. And with these letters and alphabet, you can create them. Plus, I still have a little girl that is in school and she used them for projects. In this basket, I have all my painting supplies. I usually use them for art journaling because I don't use them for layout. These ones are not for layout. I have watercolors, markers, cat and dash additionals, the distress pencils. I have them here. I also made a swatch out of this pencil, the one that I showed you before with the circles. In this bag, I kept the Derwin watercolor pencils. These pencils look really nice, and I mainly use them in the art journals for shadowing and details. I got them at Joann when they were still open and having a huge clearance sales. I got this at a ridiculous low price, so I decided to buy all the colors I found. Now, when I travel, I look for the colors I'm missing and I buy a few of them to complete my collection. These baskets are from Amazon. They have a metal frame, they are very deep. Here I have the yarns that I use for the tags, not for knitting. And in this basket are my little girl's stuff. She do craft and keeps them here. This space is for her. In the drawers here, I have doilies of all sizes and colors. I organize them all here. I also have bottoms from Simple Stories and these acrylic pieces, enamel dots, and chipboards. These are generic items that don't belong to a particular collection. So when I need something to finish a project, a small detail, I can find it here. You can see a lot of doilies from fabric to different papers and colors. And other generic stuff that I have here, like hearts, puffy hearts, and lots of butterflies. I cut butterflies from papers, they are in fabric. Everything that is butterfly are organized it here. And if it don't belong to a collection, of course. In this drawer, I have things for heat embossing. I have the ink, I have the powders, the acrylic blocks, and a few daubers. Here in this drawer are the 6x6 and 6x8 paper pads. These are pads that don't belong to a specific collection. So I kept them here, or because they are very big, huge pads with a lot of papers and they take a lot of space, so I place them here. In this drawer, I have twine. As you can see, I love colored twines. And if I have a small piece, I place it in this resealable bag. The drawer below have ribbons. Here you find ribbons that I only have a few quantity of them, few yards. And if they are in rolls, it's because I use them more frequently. You can see here. In this drawer, I have the Simple Stories color vibe arranged by color. These are the cardstock that I use more frequently, black and white. And here I have the paper scraps. I arrange them by color and I only retain the pieces that are big. If they are small, I get rid of them, I recycle them. This other plastic envelope have scraps from the Color Vibe cardstock by Simple Stories or the Bella Besties cardstock. Here I have specialty papers. I call them that way. You can find here vellum transparency with designs, background papers like polka dot that you can use anytime, music papers, gingham, wood, that kind of stuff. And they don't belong to any collection, so I have them here on hand. In this box, I kept the pre-cut cut files. A few years ago, I was into the cut files a lot, so I have them already cut and ready to use. I still have them because I like to use them maybe a few in a year until I finish the box. Here I have cutting mats for my electronic machines, the Cricut and the Cameo. And that's all for this drawer. As you can see, everything is closed. Now I can dust easily. Now I'm going to show what's inside the box. I'm going to grab one randomly. This one have products from different companies. These baskets are from Amazon too. They have magnetic, keep the lid closed. They measure 13 by 6 by 13. And this is how I arrange the embellishment on the side. Sometimes the embellishment are bigger, taller than 6 inches. So I need to cut on the sides, like here in this chipboard. I cut on the side. Sometimes also on the height, I need to cut to fit them here. And I use this thread to hold together all the pieces from the collection. This way, when I'm looking for something, I grab the whole thing together. It is easier for me. I haven't found anything better than the thread. This also is bigger than 6 inches, so I cut on the sides of the packaging cardstock with the design. I try to retain the printed picture so I can see what's in the pack. In this box, I arrange everything together, as I mentioned, and also sometimes I have the 6x8 pad per collection here. If the pad is very big, I place it in the other space that I showed you previously. And when the box is full, I can remove some of the paper pads to make space. This white area is completely new. I had some cabinets there that had deteriorated from moving and from age, plus they got wet during the Hurricane Maria and were in a pretty bad shape. And I wasn't making full use of this wall, so I decided to replace them and bought this cabinet, which also is not the same white as the one on the side, but it worked because it's the right size for the space and can hold a lot of weight. This is my photo printer, the Epson PM400, the sewing machine, and other things I always keep with easy reach, like a word search, a tray, notebooks for taking notes, and things that my family can use too. In this drawer, I have some paper cutters. These are the ones that I decided to keep, the one that I use more often. I got rid of the other paper cutters that I don't use. This drawer had a lot of things. My family can also find things here. I have a tape measure, stylus, wipes, a phone stand, a stapler, and different things. As you can see, I have a lot of things here. An external for phone charger, pencils. When my family needs something, they come here to look for it. Even though you'll see a lot of things in this room, I also got rid of many things I gave away, sold, or discarded because they were damaged or old. So I spent quite a bit of time tidying up to make it fit like this. I have some heavy things in this drawer. That's why I bought this cabinet, because I wanted a cabinet that could hold a lot of weight and also to be the right size to store my 12 by 12 paper sheets in, and they were closed. So I shake out all the furniture here and I found this one, which is the Tonstad. And this piece of furniture can hold weight, and I can store the 12 by 12 papers with a closed door. The measurements, sometimes when you check the papers, the doors don't close, but it's not the case for this one. I have thin dies here, my collection of thin dies. I store them Like in this book, I have three of these books. They are old. I don't remember the manufacturer. They have a magnetic chip like a folder, and I can keep several dies here in this book. And since it is closed, nothing get lost. Also, I have the purple folder that I showed at the beginning. And right now I'm using plastic envelopes and magnet because I can't find these booklets. So I'm using this plastic envelopes and magnet sheet that I bought on Amazon. Here I have some more for future dies. This basket also holds some large dies on the side that have many pieces and I cannot fit them in the envelope, so they are on the side. In this other basket, I kept plates for the cutting machines. The manual, I have the 12 inches plate, the thin plates, and the regular plates. Also, this basket for when I'm working on classes or several projects at once and need to organize various collections, I kept them here. Open the basket and arrange them. At the bottom, I have vertically papers arranged here in plastic containers. I removed the papers from their original packaging and placed them on these resealable bags, 13 by 13. And I label the paper. These ones are for design teams. These are the collections I'll be working in the next few weeks. Also, these are papers that when I was cleaning, I chose them to give them a last chance before getting rid of them, and these are really old collections that I want to store near me so I can see what I have and use them. I have here basic gray, Bow Bunny. These are very old collections, but I still like them, so I want to use them. As you can see, I have a lot of papers, but they are not all my papers. Papers is my favorite product, so I have more, and they are stored on a closet in the master room, and I'll be showing that later. On this pink basket, I have art journaling supplies. That's another hobby I share with my daughters. Here I have rice papers, images that I've printed at home or in a print shop. I have watercolor papers. I also have small pads with images. I showed you them previously. And here I have all my stencil organized in this box. I like to buy stencil with a generic theme, like circles and pattern that can be used a lot of times to create backgrounds or when I'm working with mixed media in on my layouts. I like to have them here. This is very heavy because it have a lot of products and books in this part of the cabinet. So this is why I was looking for something that can hold weight. Here you can see the booklets that I buy for the art journaling. I cut the images from these books, or my daughters can cut them, and we create there. Here I have another art journals items like the Stamperia books, journal books, and images, my daughter's books. All sort of images are in there, so it's a lot of weight, and the Tonstad is perfect for that. These art journals are the ones that are in use. Some are my daughter's. This one is my little daughter book. She enjoyed doing art journaling. This little one is also from her. These are the designs she have created so far. This one is mine. I'm going to show you a few. I have a lot of stuff. I think I like to buy more, and I'm a quick shopper. and a slow crafter, but it's part of the hobby and I enjoy it. Here I glue everything upside down, so I need to turn the book so you can see it. That's all for this book. Hopefully, now that I have my room organized, I can create more art journals and more projects. That's what I enjoy, and that's the reason I remodeled this area. Here are other pages in my art journal. It's something that I enjoy because I love fussy cutting and I can mix images to create a new world, an imaginary world. And I enjoy doing that. I have several books that are started because they are in different size and direction. So depending on the images, I can use them. Now I'm going to show you this other cabinet. These are also from Ikea, the Besta cabinets. I bought the deeper version of the Besta so I can fit more things in here. To reach the top cabinets, I need to use a ladder because they are almost touching the ceiling. And so here I store things that I don't use frequently, that like the cards, eyelets, empty basket, and this basket that holds other stuff like the ATG my husband bought me. He found it on the internet and bought it to me because he knows I can craft without my ATG gun. On the side, also using the ladder, I have other baskets with more stuff that I don't need to reach frequently, like spare tools, scissors, tweezers that I found at a good price, and I bought them because I'm constantly changing them. So in this basket, I have other mixed media stuff, mediums like gesso and stock that are closed, and here I have sewing parts from the machine, and empty plates that I can use when creating videos or something. In this basket, I have the big C6 dies. I kept these ones, got rid of the others. I only kept this one because they are generic circled flowers or things that I know I can use. Here I have the embossing folders that I like. The others I got rid them. And rechargeable fans in case we are out of power for a few days or a hurricane or something come, we can recharge them and have them on hand. These are products that I use to create shakers. I like to buy different things to create my own mixes, borders, rhinestones. These are more visual. I can access them with a little step or ask my husband to reach them for me. I have buttons here, wood, paper clips, small things that I can use on my projects. And on the back, I have rhinestones. I don't use rhinestones frequently, but I have them here in case I need them. I had a lot. I got rid of them and only retained a small part. Here are more confettis and glitters for my shakers. I like to buy chunky glitters and small beads, tiny beads, micro bead to create shakers, also sequins. I don't like the thin glitter. I never use it, so I don't have them. And in this basket, I have glues, everything liquid glues or glue sticks. I bought a lot of them because I found a nice sale, so I bought them, and since they are closed, they've been working perfectly. I had no problem with that. In this basket, I have tapes, foam tapes, double-sided tape, tiny foam tapes, pre-cut, and the ATG tapes. I know I'm a little exaggerated. I bought excess of them because want to be sure that I don't get out of tape in the middle of a project because I don't have any store, a scrapbook store near me. So I need to receive them by mail. So I need to be sure that I have them on hand. There I had office supplies, my family used them. And here I have my stitching mats when I'm hand stitching, a cable cord, an extension cable cord, the heat gun, and the cables for the electronic machines. My family is always looking for the cord here. And here, some cables to recharge the phone, the tablets. I have them on hand so I can charge them every day, and my family always looks for them. I don't know what happened with the cables, everybody needs them. And some family recipes there. These are easy for me to reach. And in this one, I have ribbons by roll. Sometimes I have a few rolls of the same because I do classes, so I have them on hand and use them. And cardstock that I can use to create mini albums. 8.5 by 11 cardstock. Here I have the Calax, and in between the Tonstad and the Calax is this paper pad that I use when I'm painting to cover the area. And these are the backgrounds I use when photographing my projects for social media. These are the cubicles, the Kallax cubicles from Ikea. I bought them on white and I ordered the doors or the drawers to have everything closed. Here I have a lot of notebooks and empty art journals. So when my daughters need a new art journal or I need one, I can grab one from this space. To reach them, I also need the ladder, but it's something that I don't use frequently. In this drawer, I have the envelopes, plastic envelopes from scrapbooks.com that I use to organize when I'm doing a class, and bags for my papers and other stuff. Here, I have projects that I need to finish. I hope to achieve that before December. These are from classes that I bought or retreats that I've been on. So I need to finish this to empty the drawer for new ones. And here I have cardstock, thin cardstock that I use to print my journaling, and color cardstock that my daughter used for school things. Notebooks with important notes from classes, vellum, rice paper, some sketches, transparency for the shakers. And since I don't have the paper punches here in this area in the family room, I created a swatch with the paper punches design, also with the big dies that I have, to make it easier for me to remember what I have and to use them. In these drawers, I have threads, the ones that I use for hand stitching, and the needles. Below are everything I use for the sewing machine, different threads, the bobbins, needles, pins, and also these flower centers, because sometimes the flowers are empty and I want to add something, they are here. Below are the paper punches that I use frequently. These are the only paper punches I have here. A circle punch, a tap punch, a corner punch, corner rounder, doily border, scallop border, notebook border, something that I know I use frequently. Below are the drawer with everything for the photo printers. I have the Canon Selfie and the Epson PM400. I prefer the Epson if you ask me. The colors are more vivid. And also photos printed ready to be used. And I organize them in those bags by the person. If it's a family photo or one of my daughter, I have them there and we can reach for them when creating. In this drawer, I have lace, elegant lace, vintage, and also seam bindings, ribbons that I can use on the tags. Here you can see a few rose sets ribbons. They are beautiful. I have everything that is pretty in ribbon there. This drawer have lots of washi tape. I don't use them frequently. I got them because of the Simple Stories design team. I made a swatch. I'm trying to use them, but sadly, because of the weather here that is very humid, they can get damaged soon. So I need to use them more often before they got damaged. Let's see what happened. Here are a few more washi tapes. Those ones that are loose are the ones that I bought. And some pink fresh dots. I love this. I place them here to have them at easy reach for me and use them when I need them instead of using paint. And these are the flowers that I have. I have flowers from Prima, fabric flowers, flowers that I have cut. Anything that is flower is in there. In this space, I added this heart. It's from Ikea. I bought it to sort the projects that I'm working on right now. I like it. The only problem I have is that I cannot use big envelopes, like, for example, the scrapbook.com envelopes. I cannot fit them here. But if I'm using the original packaging or the resealable bags, I can have the paper there. This is my scoring board and a few stamps from Fancy Pants. They are very old. They were a 12 by 12 pack of stamps. Right here you see 4 sets, but there are 5. I'll be showing you the other one soon. And these baskets are plastic with a wood lid. They are from Walmart. I store my stamps here by team. This is a system that works for me. I have flowers, I have butterflies. I use this plastic to divide them and I label them with the category name because this is something that works for me. Maybe you have another system that works for you and arrange them differently, but the important thing is to arrange them in a way that you can find what you have and you can use it. Here I have more stamps. I also label the boxes on the outside so I can see I know what's inside the box before opening it. This stamping board, I bought it on a sale recently. I haven't used them, so I don't know if I like it or not, but I have it there. Here I have things for stamping tools like the tray, the heat gun, and things to clean the stamps. And below, I have more stamps. These are background stamps. These are the ones that I use more frequently when creating layouts or art journal. Also, my daughter, the little one, use the stamps and she's always reaching for the art journal supplies and the stamping supplies. This is why I kept these items on the bottom so she can access them easily and I'm sure she's not going to have any accident. So I kept them there because of that. And the boxes don't weigh a lot, so she can hold them easily. Here I have everything for our journal, words, stickers, phrases, um, tags that I bought for our journaling, not for scrapbooking. So if it's for our journaling, it's here, embellishments, big tags, Stamperia products. Most of my Stamperia products are for art journaling, so I kept them here. And other things that I use on art journaling most of the time. Also, the labels machine. This is something I bought for my daughter because I prefer to use the sticker, but she loved to play with the machine creating labels. That concludes this space for the Calax. The Calax and the Besta has the same white, but the Tonstad is like an off-white. It's different, but it works for me because it gave me the measurement for that space and also because I can store the things that I wanted. So it's perfect for me in that way. Here is my desk. I have this desk for several years. I always have accessible items here that I use more frequently, like the foam dots, glues, those plates for start sorting things while recording videos. And in this plastic, I have rulers, scissors, bone folders. We have plenty of scissors for different things. So I have them here, my paper scraper, pretty old one, some baby powder, the trash can. I have a glass mat always on top of my desk and the camera for recording videos. Under the table, I have some lamps that I use for additional light when recording the reels, and this rolling cart that has three drawers. On the upper drawer, I have small inks, date stamps, also some re-inkers pencils that I use frequently. On the second drawer, I have everything that is distress ink, distress oxide, the small pad. The re-inkers are not here for the distress. I like to buy the distress with re-inkers. And these are other ink pads, some from close to my heart before they close, some metallic pads and permanent ink pads. And on the back, the better press stuff. I bought it last year. I haven't used it this year, so I don't know how it works. This cabinet comes with a key. It's from Ikea and it's called the Trotten cabinet. You can find it with two or three drawers. Here I also have my chair to work, and I have on the side this cart that's from Ikea. The color is not my favorite, but it works. I bought it many years ago when I went to the store, and that was the only color available, so I brought it home. I have some plastic trays to distribute the embellishment I'm working with, and I have my ATGs gone, some paints that I use for splatters, water, and brushes, spatula, the brayer, and things that I like to have really on hand. Also here I have brushes that I use for stencil. This is the mixed media card, as you can see. And underneath I have some shimmer inks, some shimmer paints that you need to dilute with water, and the Vicky Butin crayons. I like to use those paints for background. Here I have a swatch of the Nubo drops that I have in this tray. You can see all the Nubo drops and a few glitter brushes. Something I don't like about this basket, this container, is the lid don't always close properly, so it's a little bit tricky. Here I have some liquid paints, some sprays, different companies, different colors, on the colors that I use. I just put colors that I use. The bottom area, I have a big container with lots of mediums, textured brayers, additional brayers, paste, some other sprays that don't put there, and things that I can use to create texture, like for snow or grass, those sort of things. Also yeso or heavy texture, light texture, everything is in there. This is why this is the mixed media card with a lot of mediums and stuff and paints that I can use for mixed media. This cabinet is new. I bought it on December. I share it with my husband. That one is called the Hauga, something like that. It's from IKEA. This basket is labeled, is mine. I have an external hard drive here, a DVD reader, and I have my brother machine for making the labels that I use in the basket and all the things that I label. I also have printer related things and the Canon selfie printer and some ink bottles for the printer. I have this basket label so my family can identify what's in there and look for the printer inks. Here I arrange other paper trimmers, which are quite heavy. For the moment, I have this wooden stand, which is for holding them there so they don't drop from the drawer. I don't like it, but it's what I found. I always have a roll of paper towels, the home printer, and the phone that it's not used here, but we have it for the internet connection. Inside, I have papers for the printer, old photos organized by people, by year, by theme. And also, I kept there the video cassettes from the camera we used to make home videos. I still have those cassettes and also the rolls of film rolls, the negative from the photos. I have those stored there. That's basically all I kept in this little space. As you can see, I have a lot of things here. But now I have them accessible by collection and in a way that makes it easier for me to work. Not all of my papers are here, so I'm going to show you where I kept them inside a closet in the master room. And I'm also going to show you how I store the layouts and the mini albums so you get an idea of how I do it, just in case some of this might work for you. It is not a big space. As you can see, there are only two walls on the family room, but I like how it turned out and it demonstrates that we can have a nice space using what we have available, just making a good use of that space and making it ours by having the things in a way that we like, that we enjoy, that is easier for us to find the things so we can spend more time creating than looking for stuff or cleaning. Now I'm going to show you the closet. This was a small space we had inside the master bedroom, and we had this closet made several years ago so I could store my papers here. I have cardstock at the top. I have them sorted by color. There are still things here from when I had the store a few years ago, but I checked them and they were in good shape, so I kept them. Here are pattern papers. I sort them by theme, by manufacturer. All of them are in plastic resealable bags. And here, a few more pattern papers. These are all related to theme parks like Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, whatever is of that theme is there. Also Christmas and winter. In these trays, I have the re-inkers for the distress ink and distress oxide. If I need to use one of them, I take the tray with me and work in my desk. Also, some containers with paper punches. I arrange them by shape or by border, depending on the theme. Some glitter pads and some cutting machine mats. My husband also has some space on the top. Right now, I'm showing you where I store my layouts, my albums, and mini albums. This is another hobby I have to the jigsaw puzzles. I bought this one on Disney. It's a reversible puzzle, so you get another design on the back. And I have here in this plastic basket with lid, I have layouts because the weather here is so humid that the albums got damaged. I took the layout out with the page protectors and placed them on the basket. I can continue buying albums and getting that damage. This is the other side of the puzzle. I do it twice to have both sides and more albums and mini albums. On those baskets, one of them holds page protectors and the autograph albums from Disney. That's all. I hope you like my space and it gave you some ideas for your own space. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and leave a comment. I hope you have a wonderful day. So, bye.